Joseph and I met in architecture school, so I was pre-masters, Joseph was his second year, and yeah, just became friends and been friends ever since, so almost 20 years. And right from the beginning we talked about having a firm together.
This guy we picked up on the street.
Yeah, and I was Joe's best friend.
Yeah, and I was just walking by.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah, that's right. So, no, I think we met. I worked at a design build firm, and Joe was in the process of building his house and his sister's house. So we were the acting contractor.
Okay.
So we worked through that process. So
Yeah,
in doing
5 years.
yeah,
When we first met.
yeah, this 5 years. Okay. So we sort of had a working relationship I had a working relationship with Joe and also with Grant. Grant at that time had a sole proprietor business, Black Tie Architecture, and so we were working together already. And I got wind that these guys wanted to start up their own firm after being, in the field for maybe 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
And myself, like 10 years. So these guys are registered architects, and then I received my master's back in 2013, I believe, after being out of school for 10 years. So I'm an old guy. But then it was, I think, I don't know, maybe this is answering too many questions at once, but I think we had a good fit, right?
Yeah.
Right from the beginning.
So for our first question that we'll ask, what do you guys wish to see for the future of your firm in terms of Winnipeg?
We talk about this all the time, constantly. We're a young firm, so we have the future ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
It's just open for us to do anything we want. And at some point, we'd like to get out of the basement, right? Out of this office and grow a bit. But something that we've always sort of talked about is not necessarily growing in size, but growing in depth, right? So trying out new projects, trying out new things, experimenting with things like real estate development, retail, things like that. So yeah, we just want to keep growing in that way.
Yeah, I think we had a lot. I mean, the advantage of being a small firm like we are is that we're able to generate a lot of ideas. Not that you can't do that in a large firm, but all our ideas are heard, right? Mm-hmm. And so we just have that sort of open conversation that we often shelve it, right? And always come back to it, right? And so we have all these ambition, and because we're so intimate about it, then we could project in the future. We don't know exactly when, say like becoming a developer would be. We don't know that, right? But we could say that we have that goal in mind. So moving forward, we're seeing ourselves potentially getting out of the basement, getting bigger. But like Joe says, it's not for the sake of just getting bigger and making more money. It's about sort of really, hopefully, working on interesting projects, right? And not necessarily architecture even.
Yeah, we see ourselves as a one-stop shop. So, for example, if we were designing a restaurant, we would design, the interior, but maybe also the furniture, even the menus, the uniforms, the business cards, everything. We've already started dabbling in a bit of industrial design and even clothing design. Joseph's wearing his creation.
Rocking the merchandise.
Yeah, rocking the merch today. So
that's right.
And we're selling, some of the stuff on our website as well.
Yeah, we're launching an online store today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll probably bring to the next question of what was the most challenging project that you've worked on so far, either in terms of the project itself or maybe like, you all know group projects aren't always the easiest when working with three of you. It's like forever group project. So how do you guys go about that?
Challenging.
I don't know, that's a good question.
You know what, I find that perhaps, we're challenged every day to work as a team, right? And I find that we work well together because it's like a marriage. We complement each other, right? Right. But I think we understand each other's. You complete me. We understand. We understand each other's like strength and weaknesses, and I think like any relationship, we understand. I feel like we're kind of mature enough to know that this is something that will keep evolving. So that's not the challenge. I think the challenge right now, anyway, the challenge is, and the projects that we're getting are, they vary in scale in the sense, and they have their challenges, but not the design challenge. I think the clients are what we're finding to be the most challenging, to be quite honest. And that's something that there's no really sort of answer to how you could get over that. I think the only thing that I could say is just persistence, really, because you can't predict, who's going to be knocking on your door, right? And you can't necessarily, and we don't want to necessarily turn people down either at this point, right? Because we feel like every single contact as a young firm lends itself to future possibility. But to be honest, it's really the clients that are the most challenging, right?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times we find that clients come to us too late, or getting to be too late in the process, where they've already submitted drawings to the city, they're in for a permit, and now there's something they need an architect for, and now we have to, they call us, we get involved, and then we have to basically back engineer, what they did, and oftentimes, we have to fix problems. So that's a challenge, I guess. If we had clients coming to us a little earlier in the process, then we could, I guess, help them along the way a little bit better.
Yeah, I think for me, I actually really love challenges and problems because it gives us an opportunity to actually be creative, right, and solve a problem. I love solving problems, right? So even some of the stuff that Paul was talking about, how we can run into challenging clients all over the spectrum and for different reasons, right? And we can't necessarily predict what those challenges are going to be with the clients. But it gives us an opportunity to actually think through things really well, right, and learn in the process. So we're finding that, for example, when we're talking about when we encounter a new client for the first time, we're not scared to talk about fees, right? Before we were, and we sort of hid that back, and we would work on our fees and then sort of present it in a way, right? And that was sort of failing us a little bit because there was a bit of sticker shock. So we learned from that process. We learned from that challenge. And together we said, okay, let's not shy away from talking about fees anymore. Let's just be upfront with everything and see where things go. So as much as we have been challenged over the past year, even just being a new firm, we actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
we get a lot of excitement from facing this problem.
I guess just to add, I guess we are taking steps such as on our website, we're trying to put information on there, right? So like basic information such as like when do you need an architect, right? With regards to fee, we in fact put the guideline, the RAIC fee guideline, right? So just because I think we all have, as designers, as architects, we all have a responsibility really to educate one another for one, and then also the public.
Yeah, so we're seeing some of those challenges and we're responding either through our website or just the way we practice.